we all know that cryptocurrency markets are not going to zero. Yes, I know that mainstream media loves to report that. And yes, I know that TikTokers, crypto Twitter influencers, other YouTubers like to kind of talk about that scenario. But here to tell you, crypto's not going to zero. Well, maybe some cryptocurrencies will go to zero because that's what happens. Small businesses, entrepreneurs, most fail, but Bitcoin is for sure not going to zero. One of the techniques that we like to use on the show is we like to analyze the Bitcoin CME gap chart because generally those gaps get filled. And if you're trading on lower timeframes, it could help potentially tell you as to what direction price will go. So on today's show, we are going to cover bullish and bearish scenarios of Bitcoin. And we're also going to cover what a CME gap is and all of those really, really important details so you understand exactly how to use this, I guess, indicator or strategy, etc. Let's get it, babes. Welcome back to the O Show, everything crypto and NFTs every day. Make sure to like, subscribe, set alerts, share this video. That helps support me and the algorithm. Also, to make sure to follow me on Twitter and TikTok for more breaking crypto news. Anyways, let's first start what a CME is. Okay, CME stands for Chicago Mercantile Exchange. And I'm not going to say this word, it's kind of a weird word, but it's known as the Chicago Merc. It's an organized exchange for the trading of futures and options. The CME trades futures and in most cases options in the sectors of agriculture, energy, stock indices, foreign exchange, interest rates, metals, real estate, and even weather. So it was formed in 2007, it looks like, according to this article. Well, more merged with the Chicago Board of Trade to create the CME Group, which is one of the largest financial exchange operators. So TradFi stuff over here. Again, this information is 100% free and it is on Investopedia. I highly recommend you take advantage of Investopedia, especially during this market downturn. Now, let's explain what a Bitcoin CME gap is. This article from AMB Crypto does a really, really great job of explaining it concisely. A CME gap is created when the price of Bitcoin opens above or below the previous day's close on the CME exchange. One of the prime reasons for CME gap's creation is the fact that the CME markets remain closed over the weekend and during part of the day. Bitcoin on other spot exchanges is traded 24/7. So Bitcoin and cryptocurrency can be traded 24/7, 365. Traditional assets cannot because they follow traditional finance and the stock market. So on weekends, holidays, etc. And that's also why we have a Bitcoin daily close and other cryptocurrencies do as well. So now that we understood what that is and we understand what a gap is and why it occurs, because it's when the traditional finance is not working. Okay, now that we've explained what a CME gap is, here is the CME gap chart for Bitcoin on the daily. I like to use a daily chart, but you can use whatever works for you. And if you're trading short-term timeframes, that might be more beneficial for you. Really, really depends on you. But anyways, if you want to go ahead and access this chart, I do believe TradingView has a free feature. I'm not sure if Coin Trader Pro has it or not, but it's basically BTC1 exclamation point. So you'd go ahead and type that in and you could pull this chart up. So the way we identify charts, and a good friend of mine, amazing trader, Lisa Edwards, the way she identified it is basically when you have this gap over here, and there's nothing occurring. There's nothing, no price action in this gap. And we want to go from left to right. You can still find gaps from way back when, but we like to pay attention to what's happening. So we created a brand new gap here, approximately 35.8 and 34.5. Yes, we had a swing wick low that occurred back over here, but that's not going to fill that gap. You need an actual candle body. And it's always important to go from left to right because we want to focus on previous brand new price action to kind of make this make sense. So right now we have that 35 to 34 area, which if we do have that melt up that I still think we have a potential to happen, we will see that gap be filled. And again, gaps are not guaranteed to be filled. There's a good chance that they will be filled, but if you take a step back and you look at previous price action for Bitcoin and the CME gaps, you will see a lot of times these gaps get filled. This one over here, when we had from approximately $47,000 to $44,000, $45,000, the gap was filled. Initially, the gap was created March 25th, and the gap was filled April 6th. Now, so we have this gap over here from approximately 35.8 to 34.5. We've also created another gap over here that was approximately 28.7 to 27.2. So we do have this gap to fill as well. And also this price data is a little bit different than other Bitcoin charts just because it is a CME chart, but you can still use these for approximations of where price could go. We also have another gap over here, 26.5 and 24.3. And if we take a step back and we look, this gap was initially created back over here, December 24th of 2020, and it was filled recently with this price action that occurred June 13th of 2022. Interesting, right? Now, we have another gap. We have one over here from approximately 19,000 to 18.4. I think that will get filled. And then we also have another gap all the way over here that happened. And this one happened back in July 24th of 2020 during DeFi summer. This gap, I do believe, will be filled. And I also do think that it will be filled when we do hit 10K. I personally believe that Bitcoin will hit 10K. I'm not calling it for today. I'm not calling it for tomorrow. Maybe not in a year from now, but I do think we will have a retrace down to 10K Bitcoin. But some people like to use these gaps, others don't. Some believe in it, others don't. It's really a personal choice for you. But I just wanted to talk to you about this. So when you do hear Bitcoin CME gap getting filled or a gap being created, that you understand what this is and why it's important, how you can use this and technical analysis to kind of not dictate, but think where price could go. Me personally, it would be, I feel like we're going to have a move upward before we have a move downward, but also I'm not sure how volatile that's going to be or where we're going to end up, because right now we have a lot of interesting things happening in the market. But it is important to note where these gaps are and how price will respond to these, because when we look at charts, when we look at trading and investing, history generally repeats itself, which is pretty interesting. And if you look at all the Bitcoin bear markets, we've generally retraced approximately 85%. So I think that Bitcoin still has that opportunity to go ahead and do that. Now, before we go, really quickly, just to go ahead and take the swing wick high to approximately $69,000 and pull it down to about 85%, that brings us at this gap here that is at 98 to 96. So I just think it's very interesting, very coincidental, and I wanted to go ahead and share this information with you. I also challenge you to continue to self-educate, to think for yourself, and to base your trading and investment decisions on data that you've gathered. And whether you're buying Bitcoin, altcoins, whatever it is, please make sure you have a trading and investing plan. WendyO is out. Bye-bye.